How much can really change in a year? If you've been following, it's been exactly 1 year since my equipment failed and I walked away from a tournament. DNF did not finish. This weekend, we are heading south to, well, my home range in Long Beach, so not too far. We are facing the very tournament I couldn't finish, the California Classic 1440. This time, I'm determined to complete what I started. Familiarity with this range doesn't mean an advantage, it's just another factor. Thankfully, the weather is kinder. Just last weekend, we were practicing the brutal heat wave with temperatures of over 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Today you will shoot 2 distances on the 122 centimeter target.
I am on target 1. We will shoot across 4 distances beginning with 90 meters. After the anthem, it's time. We begin. The first few ends at 90 meters feel smooth, the equipment's working, my focus is there, but I know how fragile that can be. I've spent the past year learning to manage my anxiety, to stay present, but as always, the mental chatter begins. Those persistent demons that make focus so difficult. I am in control. When the shot doesn't feel right, I let down, reset, start over. The longer distance starts to take a toll. Every extra meter amplifies mistakes, but the arrows are okay for now. My bailmate has one flyer that is not too far, it looks okay, and it will still fly. At the other targets, it's a different story. They already have the metal detector out and they've been searching for a lost arrow. Well, it happens. 90 meters is a challenging distance, but it can also be invigorating. I know I can do it. I need a perfect execution. Using every second I can. It's not perfect, but it will have to do. Walking up to the target is not terrible because, well, it's 90 meters away. Finally, it's time to move to our second distance. Moving these target mats is a team effort. We are at 70 meters. Here, I feel more at home. The shots aren't easier, but they are cleaner. I've learned a lot in the past year, how to stay in the process, how to handle frustration. It's working. One thing I noticed is that this year, the attendance in most tournaments has been lacking. And I'm not here to prove anything to anyone, but I'm also missing seeing some familiar faces from last year. I have come here to make a mental note of how I am now, what to work on next, and how far I've come. Arrows are grouping, albeit a little low. This time, I have a key differentiator. I am not alone. I'm shooting with other members from my club, and I've been practicing with Andrew Bodner, one of the best archers I know. His support has been an anchor through tough moments. We exchange notes to push each other further and make the most out of each shot. I develop a rhythm, the day progresses quickly, and before I know it, day 1 is complete. Second and final day. We are starting from 50 meters on the 6 inner rings of an 80 centimeter target face. Another difference today is that the ends are shorter, 2 minutes and just 3 arrows, meaning that instead of 6 ends we shoot 12 ends twice. Lots of walking back and forth. I think we'll be walking more today than yesterday. There are 4 of us scoring together, so by now we've been checking in with each other and it's a nice camaraderie forming. But then it happens. Self-doubt, anxiety, target panic, the nerves set in. You figure then by having the target at a closer distance it'd be easier, but it's not. The yellow of the target comes into sharper focus but becomes blurry. It's hard to explain. And there's a constant chatter happening in my head that I often practice at 50 meters and I know I can do so much better, which creates a negative feedback loop and it's a struggle. However, instead of just pushing through in silence, Andrew steps in. His advice helps me reset and look at the shots for what they are. Slowly, I feel my timing return, but the struggle remains. It's a matter of keeping these emotions in check and focus on just this arrow. And I progress through the remaining ends with a strategy. When I mess up, it feels terrible, but I recover on the very next arrow. We now move to our final and shortest distance, 30 meters. Everyone typically does well here, so the scores are very close. The first and after switching distances, whoever adapts fastest usually has an advantage. For me, the yellow of the target is so large and so clear and so close. Even when my arrows hit the yellow, they feel off. This weekend has been tough. I can see what's working, what's not working, and I have a laundry list of what I need to practice next. But that's all part of the journey. Having patience and focusing on just this moment. That's what I'm working on. Until next time, keep shooting for gold.